Father John Vesey spent 6 years in Paraguay when the Diocese of Brooklyn adopted the town of Coronel Oviedo and established a diocese there in the 1970s. He maintains his ties with the Paraguayan community as pastor of St. Michael's. So have you been in touch with people from Paraguay who've told you how they feel about Pope Francis coming there?
Well, the amazing thing, some of the people from our parish in Coronel Oviedo have written me emails, and the joy of our Holy Father's visit is just beyond description. You know, the people of Paraguay are such pious people who have lived under dictatorships for so long in the latter part of the 20th century. They've lived in poverty and under injustice. And Pope Francis is really the next door neighbor. He comes from Argentina. And while he was the Bishop of Buenos Aires, he cared in a very special way for the poor people. And we call them the Barrios de Miseria. They're really well known throughout the world now today. But the foundation of that was the Paraguayan immigrants that went to Buenos Aires to live. And so he has such a long relationship through working with the poor of Buenos Aires who came originally from Paraguay.
And when he goes there, he'll be speaking to the people. But I guess, what do you think he would say about the church's role in Paraguay? Or what is the church trying to do there?
Well, one of the great things about the history of, and this is really funny, the history of the church in Paraguay, it's always been the church of the poor. The bishops of Paraguay, during the years of the dictatorship when the Pope was in Argentina, one of the greatest characteristics that the people could say of the Paraguayan bishops is that they suffered with its people. And that was a characteristic that was known all throughout the southern cone, especially in Argentina. They used to always use the example of the Paraguayan bishops in front of the example of the Argentinian bishops.
Pope Francis will be visiting a children's hospital and a drug abuse rehabilitation center in Paraguay, and Father Vesey thinks he will make other unplanned stops and remarks, but with one main focus.
He's going to be with the poor and those who are suffering. He's also going to meet with, obviously, with young people. He has a whole big event with the young people of Paraguay. And then the Mass at the Basilica Cacupe probably have between 1 and 2 million people. I mean, it's just going to be an absolutely incredible experience.
And that's the end of his tour. And once he leaves, what do you hope will come of his visit?
Well, I think the first thing is just giving people hope. I mean, I think that's just so important. I remember in Guatemala when John Paul II came, you know, what people say, what? And the experience of just having the Holy Father in your house. I mean, people would say to me, well, you know, we can't go to visit his house, but he's coming to our house. And so we have to be there to receive him. This man inspires. And thank God we can say he's the Holy Father.
Reporting for Currents, I'm Konrad Aderer.